Come follow the brick wall. It's your girl Eva K and I'm ready to eat. Hey, who ready to eat with me? Who ready to come bread with me? Let's break bread. Come break bread with me. Let's break bread. We about to eat this food and get fed. Come break bread with me. Let's break bread. Now bow your head, hey, cause we gotta say the grace, cause we about to eat. We about to eat. I can't wait to eat. Let's eat, big girls. Are you ready to eat? Come eat with me and let's talk. I want to get all in your business. What you gotta say? What you gotta say? I'm ready to laugh and I'm ready to play. Come on and break bread with your girl Eva K. Let's break bread. Okay? Hey, it's your girl, your host Eva K, and I am here with Mr. Scrap.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, Scrap?
What's happening?
Listen, we got a lot to talk about, but our food comes from Drake, and it was sponsored by Miss Destiny Coleman. We got some chicken wings and something Scrap just said he is not going to try some sushi with some eel and avocado.
Not at gunpoint.
Hey, I can make it happen. Look, we're going to say our grace.
Right.
You ain't going to taste one. Look, it's just eel. It won't hurt you. Just a little.
Not gonna do it.
We're gonna say our grace and we're gonna get it in. Bow your head for me, Scrap. Now we thank you. Now we thank you for our food. For our food. Father God, we thank you. Father God, we thank you. Amen. 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 Okay, Scrap.
What's up?
Tell me something about you. Where you grew up from? Where you from? Where you grew up at?
I grew up in Lonsdale.
Mm-hmm. NFL?
Yeah, like, we started it, a couple of guys. Well, one of the young dudes, like, I probably ain't gonna just say his name, but he made it up, and like, we just ran with it, you know what I mean?
With NFL?
Yeah.
That's where my brother and sister's from.
Who?
Trina Page, Gilbert Page,
Oh,
Linda
yeah,
Page.
Yeah, they day ones,
Mm-hmm. So you grew up in Lonsdale. You went to Central?
No, I went to Rule.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're a little older.
Yeah, a little older. But I'm really forever young, but I'm a little older, but I'm forever young. You feel me?
Got you. Did you play sports in high school?
Yeah, I played football for Rule. I played a little basketball, but I was a football player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my best friend, Sleepy Marlon Nelson, he was a basketball player. So I played football. You know what I mean?
Got you. You kind of look like Sleepy now that you say that.
Who?
A little bit.
Never. Don't look like no Sleepy.
I'm just messing with you. So how did you get, because for people who don't know, I was about to say Mr. Sleepy, Lord. Mr. Scrap is with B-Mays Elite.
Yes,
so you went from football. How did you get to, the AAU and basketball and all that?
Well, really, it's like when I got out of prison in like 2001. When I came back to Lonsdale, it was like all the kids in the summertime, they just standing out. You know what I mean? Watching what the older guys doing. So I was like, yo, I'll find something for them to do during the summertime, you know what I mean? So I started hearing about AAU and, not really knowing about it, whatever. My son was playing some little local stuff. So I was like, yo, this is what I want to do, you know what I mean? So I got some kids from Lonsdale, and every weekend or every other weekend, I would try to have them out of town somewhere playing basketball, you know what I mean? Showing them other cities, letting them meet other kids, which, on down the line, they would eventually, some of them meet back up again, you know what I'm saying? We would go to Charlotte, Atlanta, somewhere close, in the region, Nashville, and just keeping them out of Lonsdale, you know what I'm saying, during the summer, you know what I'm saying, as much as I could, so, and it just grew from that, you know what I mean, and just constantly wanting to, because I coach football too, you know what I mean, so I would coach football, and after football season, we would go into basketball season. So them same kids that I would coach in football, I would coach them in basketball. So I'm saying when the summer, I didn't really do baseball. So in the summertime, I would take the kids and we would go play AAU. You know what I mean? So, and like I had been doing it for a couple years, and in like 2008, I had met Bobby Mays. We was in the murder booth, the old club, the
Man, I
Malibu.
miss it. Just one more day, one more weekend.
Yeah. Like people don't know they had the Malibu got the best sound system in the city. You know what I mean? That shit was always crazy in there. But yes, we come in the club and he at the bar, so he got his braids and I like the nigga looked like Allen Iverson a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo. Hey, you know what I mean? So I walk over there, like, holler, I'm like, what's up? He's like, yo, what's up? I'm Bobby Man with Woo whatever. So, the following weekend, we in there again, you know what I mean? Meet up, whatever, we exchange numbers. So he used to want to get his hair braided, you know what I mean? So I used to bring him out Lonsdale, you know what I mean? And shout out to Sharita Payne. She used to braid his hair, you know what I'm saying? So we just got cool, you know what I mean? So I was still doing AAU basketball, but we were called Tennessee Elite. And he would come to the pilot practices, or he would come to the games, talk to the kids or whatever. And he used to always like, man, you remind me of the old dudes or the people that helped me from back home in DC. You know what I mean? He was like, man, when I get through playing basketball, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna help you, you know what I mean? So I was like, all right, cool. So I'm steadily doing what I'm doing with Tennessee Elite, you know what I mean? Having people, you know, help me along the lines, and you know, we steadily doing what we doing. So when he left Tennessee, he went overseas to play, and he would come back during the Rocky Top and play in the Rocky Top League with the new recruits that's coming in to play at UT. He would always come back and play in the Rocky Top. So one time he came back, he was like, yo, I'm about done. And these are exact words. He was like, yo, if I give you $30,000, is that enough money to sponsor your program? And I said, yeah, hell yeah. You know what I mean?
Right, yes, sir.
I could do a lot with that. So I was like, yo, if you're gonna do that, man, you might as well, you know, come and, you know, sponsor it yourself and be a part of it, and, you know what I mean, put your name on it. He was like, and I was like, we'll change the name. He was like, what's the name? And I was like, shit, B Mays Elite. So he didn't want to do it at first because he didn't want people to think that the shit was about him, you know what I mean, with his name on it. So I was like, nah, bro, that's it, because like the basketball world know Bobby Mays.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't know me. They don't know Tennessee Elite. Plus, you know, my story, where I come from, no way I could have got the kids in Knoxville where he could have got them, or where he has got them, you know what I mean, with his contacts and the people he know, you know what I mean? So, like,
a business move.
It was and I was cool enough with it. I was cool enough with it to say, you know what? It ain't about me. I'm gonna get out the way. Here, bro, give him the keys to the car and let him do what he do. You know what I mean? Nobody didn't know me, plus his face. You know what I mean? Like, he played at UT, you know, no problems, no, you know, dealings with, you know, the police. You know what I mean? They love Bobby Mays, you know what I mean, UT basketball. So it was just the right thing for me, you know what I mean, to move out the way, let him do what he do. And it's like, when you build a house, the foundation, you know what I mean? Like, me, Tennessee Elite, is the foundation of B Mays Elite. But like a house, you know, you add on, you landscape the yard, and you might add something on to this house, a patio, a swimming pool. Like, he just been adding on to the house, adding on to the house, adding on to the house. Now we building it. you know, is we found a formula and it's working. You know what I mean? To where Tennessee touched 7 states. So with AAU, if we can get a kid from any state that Tennessee touched.
So what's the difference? Because for people like me who don't know the difference between AAU and like just a regular like EKBL type league, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's a recreational league.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Recreation is for like kids that, you know, just like football, is give them something to do during that time period. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of kids are just getting started in basketball. The rec league is for them. You know what I mean? And it's done got so competitive now though that it ain't even, you know, the kids are training more, or they getting exposed to, you know, a lot more tournaments. Shout out to Charlie Mack with his group of kids. They been, you know, he got a great group, basketball kids and football kids, but they've been doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? But it's the difference. AAU is, see, for a place like Knoxville, which is not a basketball city. When you think of basketball, you'll think of Memphis or Nashville. You know what I mean? So AAU is so important for kids in Knoxville because they coaches not looking at Knoxville. So when the coaches come out in the summertime, that's when they come and looking for players. Like, I try to tell people all the time that it's done changed so much because in the past couple of years, coaches would come out 4 times. And, you know, they would go all over, you know, to different events. And they wouldn't just follow the shoe companies because they could come out more and they could go to different tournaments and see kids, you know what I mean? But now with, you know, everything going on, people cutting back, they only come out 2 times. So in them 2 periods, they only gonna go after or go watch the teams with shoe deals.
So AAU teams get shoe deals too?
Yeah, if you got enough players, you get, the shoe deal teams are Nike, Under Armour, and Adidas. And the coaches follow the teams that are sponsored by shoe companies. You know what I mean? So if you really can't get in one of those situations, it's real tough for the coaches to see you. Because, well, I'm not gonna say that, I'm gonna say if you live here. Coaches not coming to Knoxville to see, no disrespect to no school in Knoxville, but they just not coming to see a West play Fulton or Fulton play Austin East. Like it's just, they wouldn't come, like they don't know the level of competition. You know, the kids here are not ranked in the top 100, the top 200, you know, so maybe not even the top 300, so they not, you know what I mean? They could be spending their time going to watch kids that are in the top 100, you know, the top 150, you know what I'm saying? So what we brought to Knoxville, like the level, it's always been AAU programs here, and shout out to all the other AAU programs, but besides the Travelers, which was here a long time ago, nobody really had a shoe deal. So what made what we did so important with these other states is we could go to another state and get a kid that's ranked in the top 10 or the top 20 of his class. Wow. And put Knoxville kids around this kid, so when the coaches come and see this ranked kid, they get to see Knoxville kids. See, you got a kid like Drew Pember right now at University of Tennessee. He wasn't in the top 100, you know what I mean? Quez Glover at Florida, Gators. He wasn't in the top 100 of his class. Dante Harris, who had an excellent game, he's at Georgetown. He wasn't in the top 100 of his class, but they played with guys that coaches came to see, and they was able to say, oh, well, I like him. or a school say, oh, I like this kid, only because they on this team. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it was so important for us. Like we would reach out to other programs and let us like your top guys. Let us get your top guys. You know what I mean? And showcase them, put them out there. But at the time, guys was doing their own thing. Other AAU program, they was doing their own thing. And even though we had the blueprint, guys was still wanted to do their own thing, which is cool. You do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But it would seem like, we might
Follow
not
the blueprint.
exactly. You know what I'm
You
saying?
don't have to reinvent the wheel if I'm already did all the hard work, done laid the foundation. I can tell you how to do it, how to get these sponsors. You would think more people would jump on board.
Yeah. But and what happens is now when they finally realize, oh, okay, they right. You know what I mean? We do need to be over there. We do need to. Now they want to put their kids that maybe should be here or should be there, whatever. They want us to put them kids in front of kids that's already been here, and we can't. You know what I mean? That's tough. You know what I mean? To move kids that's been here from day one and grew up in the program when we extended the olive branch, we extended our hand, come get up under the umbrella, and they didn't want to, but now when they starting to really, they get it and they understand that that's it. This where we need to be. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what, we not perfect. You know what I mean? We don't as a business, you don't always do everything right. You know what I'm saying? You take your criticism and you move on to the next year to try to, do better. You know what I'm saying? From what people were saying, what they thought maybe you did wrong. It's just with any business, that's how you grow. And we was able to get with Under Armour because we would have one kid that was ranked, and we went to Nike first, and Nike was like, no, y'all, Knoxville, no kids in Knoxville, you know what I mean? Like, no. So Bobby, being in the basketball world, knowing people, he knew some people at Under Armour, reached out, told them, who we had. So they was like, you know what? We're gonna give y'all a shot. We'll give y'all a 1-year deal. Off your word, Bobby. All because you said you got this, these kids from Knoxville gonna do this, and I'm gonna give you a chance. Man, that first and that first year, we just with kids from here destroyed. We went to New York, blew everybody out by 20. On the Under Armour circuit or the Nike circuit or the Adidas circuit, when you go play, you don't play for trophies to the end. Like, you go play sessions. So you go play 4 in this city. You go play 4 in this city. You go play 4 in this city, and then you have to qualify to go play for the big championship. You know what I mean? In another city. So we went 4-0 in New York. 3-1 in LA, went to Vegas at the Fab 48, played up.
All the kids from here?
Yeah, with a couple of kids from Charlotte and kids from right here in Knoxville.
Wow.
And made it to the championship game and lost. So Under Armour was like, yo, like, hey, it was a fluke. Nah, we ain't sold yet, you know what I mean? So the next year, boom, we got more kids. We do it again, same thing. You know what I mean? Now, because mind you, the first year we had to do everything on our own, money out of our pocket. You know what I'm saying? With money out of, Bobby reaching out, and he had some close friends in the basketball world that would help us out, but they gave us no money, even though we was Under Armour. They gave us nothing as far as travel money. You know what I mean? They gave us a little gear.
So how would the kids coming from the inner city, most of us as parents don't have the money to pay to go to the New Yorks and the LAs. So how did y'all pay for the kids to go and to travel and room and board and food?
Well, we would have fundraisers. Like Bobby people like Kevin Durant, who he played AAU with, Michael Beasley, Ty Lawson, Allen Iverson. He was at Oklahoma with Adrian Peterson. Like they would sign stuff. We would have auctions. You know what I mean? We would get people to sponsor a kid, or we would how many kids can you sponsor? How many kids can you sponsor? You know what I mean? And with that and us fundraising and people seeing what we doing and wanting to be a part and wanting to help, and we was able to do it. You know what I mean? To get by. You know what I mean? So it just ended up all working out in the end, because them first couple of years was rough. You know what I mean? But we made it look good, but it was tough.
Mm-hmm.
Like people was in the rear. Like at the end of the year, we was in the negative. You know what I mean? But we just kept out there.
You believed in your boys and believed in your program.
Yeah, it really was the kids, but they did it. You know what I mean? Because they put the work in. They went out there on the court, and the coaches liked what they saw from the kids. We just Bobby provided the stage
Mm-hmm.
for them to perform.
Mm-hmm.
And they went and performed. Like, we got over $2 million kids worth of scholarships. Kids that got scholarships, you know what I mean? And like right now, we got a kid at Florida, Auburn, Vanderbilt, Tennessee. These are schools, in the SEC where they're gonna be on TV.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We got kids at Davidson. We got a kid from Merville. He's at Foreman. Yeah. Like a kid from Alcoa at Georgetown. You know what I mean? So, like, it's just like the things that B-Mays offers, that for kids that's come up in the program is just unmatched. Like, say you're a senior and you don't got no offers. Like, we got prep school already in place to give you another year to get it together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the school that we send people to, colleges come to that school on a regular, you know what I mean, to find players. We got a kid that, a few kids, I'm just, people will see. I'm just not gonna put it out there or whatever, but they'll see. Like every kid that comes through B-Mays and is playing 17U, his last year of AAU basketball, has a Division I scholarship to play basketball.
Wow.
They go to school for free. Everybody.
With your program?
Everybody.
Wow. So how do y'all choose the kids to be on the AAU team? Do y'all have to go out and?
Well, we have tryouts. You know what I mean? And the out of state kids, like, it's now it's so crazy that it's because we really we got kids from Atlanta, we got kids from Nashville, but we so heavy in Charlotte. Like Charlotte, like North Carolina, is just a basketball hub. Like, it's like they produce top kids that can play basketball, and like we got our B-Mays flag in Charlotte, tough. You know what I mean? It's so many kids want to come. You know what I mean? Because they see other kids from Charlotte, like, they blow up. You know what I'm saying? And it's so much. Like, I done been here all my life, man. And kids might go play basketball or get in college to go play other places, but I only know one, you know what I mean, from Knoxville that has, and that was, Jalen Steele, you know what I'm saying, and he was from Fulton, but he had a lot of AAU exposure too. But now, we got, and that's the thing with being on the shoe company is like business. If you don't continue to produce a good product, off with your head. So Under Armour is always saying like, okay, well, what you got next? All right, well, what you got next? You know what I mean? So we gotta keep producing. You know what I mean? We was able to. We got a gym now. You know what I mean? So we got like kids can constantly stay in the gym. They can constantly stay in the gym. You know what I mean? And now we have created an atmosphere to where coaches got to look at Knoxville. Be Mazer. You know what I mean? We the fastest rising program on the Under Armour circuit, like ever. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
Yeah. You got like 30-some teams maybe on the Under Armour circuit. Some of them never make it to the finals. We made it to the championship game like back to back with kids from right here. You know what I mean? From Knoxville. We got a couple kids from Cleveland, a couple kids from Chattanooga. You know what I mean? So we really, like, if they come to the tryouts, man, and they that, then, like, we don't care where they from.
So how do y'all all practice together? If you got people coming from here, from Charlotte, and how do y'all practice together?
That's the beauty of it. Them people in Charlotte are willing to drive them 4 hours to come up here to go through boot camp that we have in the summer, to practices. You know what I mean? Like when you doing that, when you got people willing to do that, then everything ain't bad. Everything can't be bad. You know what I mean? And these are top kids in Charlotte. You know what I mean? We got the top kid in a lot of classes out of Charlotte. And they young, and we just keep coming, like 2022, 2023, 2024. We got kids 2025. We got kids 2026, 2020. Like this, it's getting so crazy that pretty soon, if God's willing, everything clear up with the COVID, like we just gonna be the one of the top programs in the South, as far as Under Armour. Anyway, you know what I mean?
That's what I was gonna ask. Like with the pandemic and COVID and all that going on, how are y'all being able to practice? Cause like most places are closed down. Tennessee obviously is open, but like I know Charlotte and all them was still.
Well, they take precautions. Like Charlotte, we just came from Charlotte at Rock Hill, and what they do is they, after each game, they will, you can only stay in and watch your game, and after that you gotta leave. They sanitize the bleachers, they sanitize where the players sit, wipe everything down. Then they let the other, however many teams, parents have to always have on masks. So they taking the precautions, same things, we do at the gym. As far as taking the precautions, we wipe everything down every day, sanitize everything. It's a lot of things we probably could be doing better, but we like I said, we growing. You know what I mean?
Where do you see B-Mays Elite going in the next 5 years?
Man, I really can't imagine what it's gonna look like in 5 years. How it looked like this first 5 years, just been crazy. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it keep going like this. Man, we gonna definitely have one of the top programs in the country. You know what I mean? With like, we got young guys that's ranked in their class. Never happened before. You know what I mean? Kids going to other places in the summer and they playing against other kids ranked high in the country, and they winning, they beating these guys. You know what I mean? And some of these guys are like highly ranked guys going to Duke and North Carolina, and you got little guys here, right out of Catholic. We had kids from Austin East on the team, Fulton on the team, um, Catholic, Webb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got a little diversity.
So what do you think y'all are doing different that is producing, like, what are you giving to these guys that are making them just be superhuman, that's going out there doing it?
Nah, they just want it. Like, if you was a dancer, right? And
I am.
yeah. So you get a chance to perform in front of a lot of choreographers or people that could give you a job and make a lot of money dancing. If you got that chance to do that, then you gonna really practice for it and work, and you're gonna be at your best. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with these kids. They work, we practice, we push them, we holler at them. We go crazy because, like, when we go play in the summer, it's 250 coaches in the gym. So around the court, like if this table is the court, around the court, coaches everywhere watching, rows of them watching. You know what I mean? So example, we had a kid, Jaden Springer, who's at university. He's at Tennessee now. Highly ranked kid, and we had him on the team, another kid from Charlotte, and Knoxville kid. So like I said before, when the coaches came to see Jaden, they got to see that kid at Fulton, they got to see that kid at Webb, at West, at Catholic, at CA, whatever school they went to in Knoxville, and it's been working so perfectly. You know what I mean? Like, it's unbelievable the amount of coaches that are at these games. You know what I'm saying? So somebody gonna like you.
That's a lot of pressure, man.
Nah, it ain't. It is, but it ain't, because this what you want. You asked for it. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be no pressure. Like, what we tell our guys, at the end of the day, man, it's basketball. Something you've been doing since you was 5. If you put the work in, like, good things gonna happen, and if it don't, go figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, figure it out. Like, and that's one thing that like the X's and O's of the game, man, I don't know none of it. I mean, I know because I done learned over the time, but that wasn't what I was good at. Like, to stand out, you gotta be a dog. So if you ain't no dog, and you ain't gonna, you know what I mean, when things get rough, you ain't gonna get rough, then B-Mays might not be for you. You know what I mean? Because we gonna put you in that fire. We gonna put you in front of the number 1 player in the NBA draft this year was on the Under Armour circuit. So kids from Knoxville played against the number 1 player in the NBA draft, Anthony Edwards, because he played on the Under Armour circuit. So that's heat.
That's motivation.
But it's smoke. Like you got to play against this dude, and everybody in the country is watching the game. Because if it's not there, like, the coaches, they live stream it, so they can watch it. Like, and that was one of the beauties about us having our gym. Like, we can have tournaments, and we can set up the equipment and stuff, and we can live stream it, right? And that's, it's you sell your little package or whatever to the coaches, and however many coaches you send the stuff to, 100, 200, and they watch the games. You know what I mean? So now you virtual with it. You know what I mean? They don't have to be present. They don't have to send nobody. You know what I mean? It's another perk of being with B-Mays. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that nowhere else here. You know what I mean? And, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't, because I really try to stay out the way. Like, the grassroots part of it, the kids, the younger kids, because they got to know, they got to play a certain way. So I go down and I deal with them. You know what I mean? The 8th graders and on up and all that. You know, we got other people that deals with them. But I'm always gonna be there. I'm the motivation guy. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be on the sideline, on the stand, hollering at you. You know, just keeping you going. Like sometimes, and that's what I was always good at. My energy rubbing off on the kids that I was around. So, you know, I could like my little homies, man, little B and little Boski, they are well, like, I can look at these dudes, man, like just give them a look, like, and they know.
Them boys crazy, and they're going viral.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just them. It's like we got so many though. Like, and then we got some younger than them. Just, you know, man, I don't know how they. I'm not gonna say their name. Their parents probably don't want their names all out there like that. But we it's so crazy. And what's here again? These guys come back to the gym. Quez Glover, Joe Anderson, Dante Harris, Dutta, and you know, we have real wars in the gym. Like you got Jordan Bowden, you know, kids that at UT, they come in the gym and you know they like, but them young guys like B and Boski and even the younger guys, and you know, I don't say, they get to get in and get some of that action. You know what I mean? Like
that's dope.
And a lot of them, you know, they can't guard nobody, but just to be in there with these guys is, and it be. I'm saying it be real smoke in the gym, man. Like it be real spicy in there, man.
So to tie it back, cause we at almost 37 minutes. I mean, it seems like we've been talking that long. But to tie it back, so how do you bring this stuff from Lonsdale into, you know, the whole B-Mays Elite? Like, what do you bring to your young men? Cause they need it.
I mean, now it ain't just Lonsdale now, cause you know we everywhere. You know, when I first started, it was Lonsdale. You know what I mean? Cause that's where I was at. You know what I'm saying? And another thing like that I tried to do was, I'm gonna make this point right quick. Like when I was in prison, like
How long was you in prison?
like almost 5 years, like 4 years and like 8-9 months. But you know, prison is a controlled environment. The gang shit was crazy in the controlled environment. You know what I'm saying? So like when I got out, and I was like, yo, when this shit hit the street, like it's gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? So way back then, 2002, 2003, 2004, you know what I mean? When I was coaching, I started going and finding kids on the east side. You know what I mean? And I'm bringing them on the team. You know what I mean? We going out of town. I'm putting them in a room together. You know what I'm saying? These dudes from Lonsdale, they growing up in sports with dudes from Walter Peak, with dudes from Arthur Home, with dudes from Brotherton, with dudes from Green Hills, you know what I mean? Dudes from the Ville. And it, you know, for a while, you know what I'm saying? It worked because we slept in the same bed. You know what I mean? I mean, it ain't like that now, but then it was like, nah, I can't do that to him. You know what I mean? That's we play AAU together, we play football together. Like, so that's how I was trying to, you know, my way of giving back, you know what I mean, from things that I was a part of before I went to prison in the early 90s or whatever. So, you know, we gotta try to switch it up. You know what I mean? And like you hear like with a lot of stuff going on now in the streets, you hear a lot of people say, oh, the OGs and the OGs and this and the like what they don't realize, man, the OGs got families, man. The OGs is daddies and granddaddies and you know the OGs can say and that's it. Like nobody ain't nobody daddy, you know what I mean?
Right.
All you can do is say, but what the OGs can do is the OGs can lead by example. You know what I mean? Which we do. You see, and we try to. You know what I'm saying? Like I see Troy Wood. It's love. You know, when young kids see that, maybe, you know, it might not. You know, I don't know, but that's leading by example. You know what I mean? They see us interacting. You know what I mean? We in the same clubs with the youngins, and they see the old heads having a drink together, or the old heads doing whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really all the OGs can do. You know what I'm saying? Like what we like I said, we can talk, but they men and or they not men, you know, they young men and all the OGs who like, yo, don't do this, don't do that, but we ain't nobody that. What we gonna do if they don't? You know what I mean?
Right.
But you can speak and hopefully your words, you know, it resonate to some of them. You ain't gonna resonate to all of them, but you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you know, you just gotta, you know, lead by example, man. You gotta lead by example, man. And doing that is you walking that walk, you know what I'm saying, the best of your ability. You know what I mean? And that's it.
Shit, because I done said it before, like, where the hell, because I live in the Ville.
Yeah.
So we just had a shooting, 21 shots, right before I even got over here. Police everywhere. So, but these kids are really not listening. You know what I'm saying? With the social media, the music, you know, that plays a part. People don't want to admit that, but they want to live like Pooh Shiesty and the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? They want to earn their street cred, which back in the days, you know, when I was growing up in Christianberry, you know, the OGs, they would buy us ice cream. They would, you know, talk to us. I knew who they were. They was giving our mamas turkeys and bringing us bikes for Christmas. I don't see none of that now. So that's why I always be like, where the OGs at? You know, they need to tell these young boys that this is not the way they need to be living. You know what I'm saying? Because we just losing so many people. 2020, we done lost a lot of people to gun violence, corona, and everything else. But thank you, you know what I'm saying, for coming to talk to me. We're going to have to do a part 2.
Yeah, anytime, man. Anytime. I love to talk. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I ain't even get to really say a lot because, you know what I mean? Like, as far as I really want to just break down this AAU thing that's going on, or, you know, like in the city, man. Like, you know, some kind of way at the end of the day, you know, we got to come together, man. And, you know, it's all right to keep them, you know what I mean? Keep them when they're young, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, like, but 7th, 8th grade, man, y'all gotta get them dogs over to us, man. Y'all gotta get them to us, man. If it's about the kids, if it's about them, you know what I mean? Like, put them in the best situation, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, we might not be perfect. We don't do everything right, you know what I'm saying? But we learning, man. Instead of criticizing and going behind nigga back and like come talk, you know what I mean? Like, yo.
Because you're very easy to talk to.
Yeah, like try to do this, man. Like, yo, do this, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, holler at us, man. You know what I mean?
Well, it's all love. Thank you, Scrap.
Yeah,
Y'all have a
appreciate
good
it.
night.